So, based on what you've told us, we've done a bit of digging online and we found that your grand total can come up to...
Hi, I'm Brian, I'm 27, I work in logistics and risk management.
Hi, I'm Julia, I'm 26 and I'm an occupational therapist.
I'm Kenyan.
And I'm Nigerian.
And we're getting married.
So we're currently planning our wedding, which is in March 2024, and that is our fortunate event.
Currently, we've worked out our wedding budget will be about 30,000. This was with the help of our wedding planner advising us of how much our wedding will be. We started our wedding process in November 2022 and we're getting married in March 2024. Based on the savings we originally had, we knew to get to our target of 30,000 that we need to save £500 each so that we can meet our goal for our wedding.
So here's a current snapshot of what we're currently spending. So monthly for my car, I spend £240. For my car insurance, I pay £70. For my bill, I pay £70 as well. For Amazon Prime, I pay £4.49. For Apple storage, I pay £2.50. For Spotify, I pay £10. For the gym, I pay £20. And for my credit report, I pay £15. We're currently saving for a house deposit, so I save between £200 to £300.
And for myself, my expenses are my phone, which is about £23 a month, gadget insurance, which is £15 a month.
With the HyperJar joint prepaid card, Brian and Julia can easily manage their joint finances without combining their accounts. Load money onto the card every month, track spending through the app and stay on budget together. A smart, easy and savvy way to handle shared expenses.
iCloud storage £3 a month, life insurance at £44 a month, Spotify at £10 a month, gym membership at £20 a month. And the reason why my expenses are quite low, unfortunately I don't have a car at the moment due to it being stolen, so therefore this has allowed me to save more towards my house and the wedding, and I'm currently saving approximately £800 towards the house deposit and £500 towards our wedding. And I've also not gone on holiday. I was meant to go on a big holiday last year, had to cancel on that just to save for our wedding, and we've reduced the amount of concerts we go to now.
Yeah, because we do enjoy going to a lot of concerts and going out to eat, but we've reduced that significantly just to save a few coins. I think a good thing that we've been doing is instead of going out to eat, we'd try and make food at home. So we try out different recipes just to keep it fun, but also on a budget as well. Also, I think just for me personally, in terms of online spending, I love an online shop, but that is reduced significantly as well, just to save towards the wedding.
Yeah, I've reduced the amount of shoes I buy and perfumes as well. Has helped towards saving for the house and wedding.
No more impulsive spending for Brian and Julia. They can use the only and never features on HyperJar to control their expenses and stay on track for the big day. Limit spending from certain jars like shoes and perfumes and prioritize their wedding goals. It's easy to save and spend wisely.
We're going to do a breakdown of our wedding budget. Our initial wedding budget was 20,000. After speaking to our wedding planner, she soon told us it would be 30,000, and she gave a rule of thumb that every 50 guests that we add will be approximately £5,000 of cost added to the wedding budget. Initially, we budgeted for the venue was £5,000. We wanted a place that was all in one, so you could have the ceremony in the same building as you have the reception. You can also take the pictures in the same place, as we thought it would save costs on us hiring an extra car and also save time for people not being stuck in traffic, travelling from location A to location B.
So for catering, we budgeted £5,000. It's important for us to have both Nigerian and Kenyan food at the wedding because we just want our guests to have a taste of both cultures.
Yeah. Photography and videography, we budgeted £3,000 each for this. The reason is we wanted high quality work for our wedding day, as this is one of the only takeaways that we have for the day.
So when it came to decorations, flowers, invitations, wedding cake, we're not sure on what the cost of those would be.
Wedding attire, on rough looks I've seen about £300 to £500, but I've not currently gone for any suit fittings.
For wedding dress, I budgeted between 2 to 3k. I've changed my mind a few times of what I wanted for my dress, but I have settled on having it tailored.
And also entertainment and music, we budgeted around £2,000. We wanted a DJ and some live music on the day, just as we're both heavily into like music and we do appreciate a live bands.
For hair and makeup, I wasn't sure on costs for these. When you go and get your hair or makeup done, usually it's obviously going to be a different price to what a bridal hair or bridal makeup would be. So it's kind of hard to budget for that, but I've put about £1,000 each for both, hoping it would be less than that.
Planning a wedding can be overwhelming, but with HyperJar, Brian and Julia can stay organised and manage your wedding funds effortlessly. Create separate jars for venue, catering, honeymoon and more. Spend directly from the jars using the HyperJar MasterCard and watch your wedding savings grow.
So we've done some research, we're still in the planning process, but we're actually going to tell you the actual costs of each vendor.
We found a venue that fit everything that we wanted and that was within budget, and we got this for $3,800. And the reason we was able to get under budget is we asked the venue if we can get a discount if we paid all at once, and we tried to pay for their 2023 prices, although our wedding's in 2024, and they were happy to honour that negotiation.
So for catering, we found that it's come to £8,000. The reason for this is because we're having two separate caterers. So we've got Nigerian caterer and Kenyan caterer. For buffet service, which is just going up to get your food, that's £30 per head. But we wanted to do something special for our families. Yeah. So for both their tables, we've got them bowl service, which is basically when they'll bring the food out in bowls to the table, and then the family doesn't really have to move, they just sort of serve themselves from the bowls. And that's come to £40 per person, which we didn't really expect, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't know it would be that much extra just for the bowl service. And also like hidden costs might be cleaning up and cutlery for the day. With photographer, we got ours for £2,000. This is with speaking to the wedding planner. She was able to negotiate a better price for us, and again, we locked in our prices quite early on to keep their 2023 prices, and they agreed to honour it for 2024.
The same with videography. We got him quite early, so he charged us 2023 price for 2024. He was 2,600, so we came under budget with the help of our wedding planner as well. Entertainment
and music. So initially I had a dream DJ in mind. After emailing the dream DJ, the budget went out the window. So we went with our first choice option after the dream. Initially, we could only have him for the reception, but after speaking to the wedding planner, because she's worked with the DJ before, she was able to get him also for the ceremony and reception, and that came to, I think, around about £900 for the full day service.
We also wanted a violinist. When we sort of researched around, the person that we found is like 600 for 2 hours of playing as well. So yeah, it's good that we kind of looked around and did some other research. For hair, I'm still currently looking, hoping that I can find someone within my budget. However, with makeup, I've managed to find someone with just under my budget actually, and both for the white and traditional, she's given me a package which has come to £750.
Yep. With my suit, I've still not looked for my suit, so this cost could go up, and I'm still unsure if I'm going bespoke or if I will get a tailored suit.
So I've bought my dress and along with a package to have it altered, and that has come to £2,500. So it's within my budget. However, I do also have to pay for like the veil, the shoes also, which I'm hoping would still be within that £3,000 budget as well.
For invitations, we're not planning on doing paper invites. We're planning to send everyone an emailed copy or a link to RSVP themselves. So hopefully this will save some cost on shipping and printing.
So regarding a registrar and also just general fees that we found, so giving notice was £35 per person, which we were quite shocked at because we didn't really understand why we have to pay just to let the council know that we're getting married. If we do decide to, I think the prices were around sort of 600.
Yeah, around £600.
Yeah.
And then the venue you're doing the registrar at might cost an extra £400.
So for decor, we were initially unsure of the budget, but that has come to 4,900. Our wedding planner helped us to include production into that. So for the production aspects, that is the dance floor, the stage blocks where we would sit.
Yeah.
In terms of decor, so that includes the high-low centerpieces, charger plates, sort of the floral arrangements, which initially we didn't want sort of real flowers. We were quite happy just for it to be decorated with, like, is it faux flowers?
Faux flowers.
And yeah.
The next step was wedding cake. We've not yet gone wedding cake testing, but we're looking for a red velvet cake and preferably 3 tiers with a floating level. We're not sure about the prices at all.
So for drinks, we've heard of a service that could actually just go buy the drinks and bring it to the venue. For the trad, we sort of did like a test run and sent an email for the trad, and that came to 2,000. So we're kind of thinking, because we're having less numbers for the white, it might be a similar sort of price. However, because we might have some alcohol involved with the white wedding, that we're expecting it to drive up the cost a lot more.
So that might be around 2,500 due to the alcohol aspect of it. And we'd also like some cocktails during the canapé hour. We're not sure what cocktails we want, but we definitely want a rum punch.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is for all the guests, and we've ballpark figure, we think it's going to cost around about £1,500, but we've not yet spoke to any vendors regarding this service. And bar management as well, to handle all the drinks when giving out to guests and serving.
So, based on what you've told us, we've done a bit of digging online, and we found that your grand total can come up to 32,015.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
It's a lot of money for one day. The price of love. But I guess it's close to it's close to our predictions.
Budget, but yeah, that's a lot.
It's still a lot.
That's a lot.
Whichever way you
You
look at
wouldn't
it.
just blow that money on just anything, but yeah.
It's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
And it's the memories that justify £32,000.
So we're going to answer the most commonly asked wedding questions.
Are there any cultural or family expectations that may impact your wedding budget? How do you navigate those conversations?
Okay, so I'm Nigerian.
I'm Kenyan.
And as part of like the Nigerian tradition, we have 2 weddings. So we have the traditional wedding where we just go through a lot of ceremonial things. It's basically like a bigger introduction to our families, and he's just basically asking for like my hand kind of all over again. And just bringing gifts, and you have to pay some fees as well. And then we'll have the white wedding.
The white wedding is a traditional English wedding. And within the Kenyan community, we don't really have a traditional wedding. We only have an English wedding. So we've had to accommodate for the traditional wedding. In
terms of the traditional wedding, obviously, I would say for the scale that we're having it, I'd just put our budget at about like 15 to 20k, or like the parents' budget at 15 to 20k. But besides that, there's other fees sort of on the groom side, because he would need to pay sort of dowry, which it can range, but I feel like I've heard of like it being in like a £500 bracket, but it could be much more than that. But and then there's other fees for like, so we have fees for like calling out the bride on the actual wedding day. Siblings. Giving money to like the siblings in the family. Gifts. Yeah, so like gifts, so there's like wine, yam, honey, sugar, and they all symbolise obviously something. They all have a meaning like towards the marriage, but obviously it's just things that you have to bring. And then actually at the end of it, it's shared out for like the family. So the family who's raised the bride, all the gifts are kind of like for them, shared out between them. Oh God. Okay, so if you could allocate an unlimited budget to one aspect of your wedding, what would it be and why? Mine would be the venue. So we would go for our dream wedding venue, which actually was Braxted Park, but the cost just didn't make sense for us in our current situation, as we are trying to save for our house. The grounds was just beautiful. It had a big manor.
a large driveway, but the cost was around about 18,000. So we had to unfortunately choose a different venue. How do you strike a balance between having the wedding of your dreams and being financially responsible?
So I think because we're saving for the house, so that has grounded us a lot in terms of what we're spending our money on. We've sort of had a budget for every single thing, but it's within reason for us.
Yeah, because we're trying to simultaneously save for a wedding and save for a house.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that when we're spending for the wedding, we're not eating into the house budget too much, and that we can also continue saving at a sensible rate for the house.
Okay. Do you believe it's necessary to take on debt or loans for a dream wedding, or would you rather stick to a more affordable budget?
Personally, I don't think it's sensible to take out a debt or loan just for your wedding day. Although the wedding day would be great if you could have unlimited funds, just remember it is one day only. And I think just cut your cloth according to your size. So just have the wedding that you can afford and that you won't be financially stressed for the next 2, 3, 4 years plus on. Personally, I would prefer a smaller intimate wedding, probably more quality over quantity. Just making sure that the wedding that we're having is small and it has the right amount of guests that we want and that is to the standards that we want, then having a big venue with loads of guests but the quality not being as we would like. How do you prioritise your wedding expenses? Is there a particular item or service you're willing to splurge on? Personally, I would say my videography and photography for the day is what I'm willing to go above and beyond on. Just because on the wedding day, this is the only thing that we can take home to remember our day.
Yeah, I think for me, it was like wedding dress for me. Obviously I had my budget, but if it was the dress of my dreams and it just felt right when I was in it, I would have definitely gone above the budget. So what are some cost-saving tips or hacks you've discovered during your wedding planning journey? So a useful tip that we found is like a lot of people are kind of driven to the people with like higher following, and obviously they do have quality work. So for example, like photography, videography, there's vendors who might not have as a high following, but they still have like really quality work. So we've done like a lot of like digging and like just separate homework where like to find these photographers or videographers. And one thing that we've done is like go in, so for example our wedding planner, we'd go on her following and then sort of search for like videographers and photographers, and then we'll go on their profile and then we'll look at for videographers and photographers, and that's how you sort of find the people who may not have been discovered, I guess, in like the wedding industry, and they're not really as known or as followed, but their work is like really good.
Are there any wedding traditions or customs that you find unnecessary or overly expensive? Would you consider skipping them to save money?
So I would say with like us, we have our traditional wedding, so I wouldn't say the ceremony bit is unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary to have it on a larger scale. So I feel like for Nigerian traditionals, it's not uncommon to have it on a larger scale where there's like 1,000 people at the wedding, and that's a very common thing. So I would say that the aspect of having it on a larger scale, in my opinion, is quite unnecessary, but I do think you can have it on a much more intimate level, like close friends, family, and then just stick to sort of having that ceremonial bit instead of turning it into like a massive sort of party.
What are some creative ways that you've seen couples save money on their wedding without sacrificing on the overall experience? Creative ways I've seen people save money is by having more evening guests and less daytime guests. This is due to daytime guests costing more money on aspects that are variable. So the more guests you have, the higher budget will be on decoration, food and drinks. So if you have more evening guests, you can save money throughout the daytime.
So what's your opinion on crowdfunding or asking for financial contributions from friends and family to help cover wedding costs?
Traditionally in the Kenyan culture, within the immediate family and friends, we do support each other with life events such as having a wedding and having a baby. So with the immediate family, we do ask for support just due because we've helped them before, they help us in return. And these people are the people you are naturally going to invite to your wedding. It's not really a problem asking them because they understand the situation. But when it's external people that are outside of your immediate circle or inner circle, then that's where it can get a bit more sensitive.
So yeah, personally, I'm not a fan of like asking people to pay to attend the wedding. The most important thing for us is having people there because we genuinely want them there. We want them to celebrate with us. Like it's not just sort of like how you'd go to like a day party or like a brunch, like you'd pay to attend there. But it's like for us, it's obviously a special day for us. We'd want people who we genuinely want there. Thank you for watching our fortunate event. Pray for us, wish us well that, you know, prices won't go up any further. But yeah.
Can't wait for the big day. Please like, subscribe and share this video and pass it to a friend that you know that's getting married soon.